Don't let anybody tell you any different. You have COVID, your brain doesn't work right for weeks afterwards. Hey everybody, we are back at the bus this weekend. We're here kind of late today. We had a bunch of running around to do this morning. Oh, I'm almost falling over top of everything. I'll stand still. I think today we're gonna try and do the strip along the side here, all the way down to cover that seam, and maybe some of the seams on the ceiling. We'll try and get those done. Maybe some face boards on here. See what we can do there. That should look nice. And I don't know, we're just gonna do little things here and there because we got lots of little things to do, and that's pretty much all we can do right now is just the little things. Let's get at it. I was informed that last week's video, I did not explain at all how I built these upper cabinets. So I'm going to do that right now. So I used the 3/4 inch plywood on the bottom, good one side, and it's 15 inches deep, and that was the depth of the cabinet. And here to the roof, these boards that I have angled up at the top, they're not perfect, but they're good enough, they'll work. These are 21 inches, and you saw in the video where I put the pattern on there and cut it out so they would fit. And then I've got 2 strips on the backs in between all these, so there's 4 of these, one for each end, and then in between to give us 3 cabinets, three shelves. And then I put in between all of those, I put these nailing strips. Now, let me turn this around. So all these nailing strips, everything is pocket screwed in. So the end pieces are pocket screwed into the base, and the nailing strips are pocket screwed in. So the top one's just on either end. The bottom one, a pile. I want this to be strong. I don't want it to come loose. So everything is pocket screwed together, and then I used 1.5 inch deck screws to run them through into the back, and 5 along each section. So there is 60 screws holding this thing into the wall. It may be overkill, it may not be overkill, but we're gonna find out. And that's all I did. It was very simple to put together. There's gonna be, today I'm gonna put board across the top and across the bottom, and then in between on here for a face on each one. And that's just gonna dress it up, make it look a little nicer. Wiring is sticking through into this shelf. That's going to be for the under counter. I've got lights that are going underneath the cabinet. That is clearly speaker wire for the stereo we put in, and the speakers are going to be in the doors. One in this door up high. We may go in the doors, we may go underneath. We're not quite sure yet. I'm thinking in the doors would be better because it'll be out of the way. And then when you open the door, the speaker opens. Should be good. I've got a piece of 1/2 inch plywood here that's 3 1/4. I'm going to rip it to 3 inches, bevel the sides, same way I did at the back, but I'll show you how I'm doing that. But this is the piece I'm going to use just as an experiment to see how this is going to work. So I'm just going to rip this to 3 inches wide, and then we'll do the bevels and we'll see how it works. I need to come in here and make this I can't do it. I can't remember how to do it. Don't record me not remembering how to do it. We're going to start building the face boards for the cabinets here. We've decided to go 1.5 inch wide, which will give us, on these boards, it'll give us 1/4 inch over either side of the upright, and then down the bottom it'll give us 3/4 inch, and then up at the top it'll just hang down 1.5 inch. So I'm going to go grab some, I have half a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood in the garage here, or 1/2 inch plywood rather. We're going to use 1/2 inch plywood just for the facing board, and we're going to rip that up and put it in.
Yeah.
So we got a trim piece cut for the bottom. Christina is putting the veneer along the bottom edge so that it doesn't look goofy.
because who wants to look at the edge of plywood? So that's going really well. It's simple to use. You just iron it on, pull it along and iron it on as you go, and then we have a trimmer blade that trims it off for us. Don't open that bottle of pop.
That's Chris's luckily.
That's my pop. So while she's doing that, I am going to cut another piece for the top, and we'll put the top one on, and I guess I should put the saw back where I had it. Then we'll put the ones in the center.
Okay, you want to talk about the new toy?
Sure. We bought a little palm router, and I am routing out the holes underneath,
The sink.
under the sink, so that we can put the sink
And clamp it down.
yeah, so we can put the brackets for the sink underneath so that we can get it tightened down. Right now the screws are too short. So
Because we went through braces.
yeah. The boards that hold the cabinet together are in the way, so I'm having to cut them out. And it's not going as easily as I hoped. There's start with that. Let's see what kind of mess I can make right here. I don't want to go the other way. I'm done today. Here we go. Put the baseboards on. That's all we're doing for today. Mostly because this over here is just making me mad. COVID brain is still causing me a lot of brain fog. I can't even think to do half of this stuff. When I did the back walls, it worked out like nothing. This is not going so well. And we are back here at the bus, Sunday morning. When I say we, I mean you and I. Christina has a headache today. We don't want it to turn into a migraine, so she's still in bed. I am not sure what I'm going to do today. I have lots of scrap pieces of wood. I don't think I have enough to do any one job. Yesterday I was trying to figure out these angles for this, and COVID brain would not allow me to figure it out. Don't let anybody tell you any different. You have COVID, your brain doesn't work right for weeks afterwards. I can't concentrate, I can't. If it's something that I've done 100 times, it's fine. If I gotta try something new or figure out something complicated, forget it. So, knowing myself, I was getting frustrated, I packed it all up and went home. Because I don't want to throw tools out a window or break something, because that's what was going to happen. Anyway, I'm going to see what I can do here today. Definitely going to try and do this trim. If I can figure this trim out, I'm going to get going on it. This is the bathroom. Toilet's going to go right here into this window. And I extended the wall out so that we had, you know, a level spot and not this weird drop down after the wheel. So I am covering this today right now, and it's not straight because, you know, nothing in the bus is square except my walls inside are square, so we're good there. But I'm cutting it so it'll go all the way over to this corner here, all the way across. Probably going to put a couple hinges on it and just have it flip up. Or maybe no hinges, just have it pull out. I'm not sure yet. We'll see how it goes when we put the flooring on it, because I'll put flooring on it and then maybe maybe hinge the top of the floor. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Well, I think that's good enough. Here we go. One thing down. Okay, like I hoped it would, I have been inspired by time. This piece to smooth out this transition here, cover this seam and cover the screws. That gave me so much grief yesterday. Trying to figure out the bevels on that. Not doing it. On the seams that we're doing over the ceiling, we're using 3-inch wide, 1/4-inch pine plywood strips. The same material that the roof is, ceiling is. And it's just gonna cover up those seams, pull them together. Well, I'm gonna use the same thing right here. It'll give some continuity. All the trim that I'm putting around the ceiling fans and everything is all gonna be the same way. So I'm using that here. I don't need to bevel that. It's such a small, it's only 1/4 inch thick. I'm not even gonna worry about it. This entire length of the bus, all the way to the back, is going to be open shelving. So the odds of it being obvious and in your face are pretty slim. And if it's obvious and in your face, I don't care. It's gonna be nice. I'm gonna like it. Talk to Christina about it because you have to get the boss's approval. So she's on board, so that's what I'm doing right now. I cut myself a bunch of strips down here. I only had one piece that was 8 feet long. Don't have much 1/4 inch ply left. And I've got a bunch that look like they are 4 feet long. Grain is running the same way, so that's fine. The length I have down here is only about 18 feet, so I have plenty. So I'm gonna get started on that right now. So of course I gotta figure out how far down I want to come. So I don't want to go half and half. I want to come down a little farther than I am up. I've got a shorter piece here. It's just gonna go right up in here like this. And I think right there looks pretty nice. What do you think? I think it looks pretty good. I'm just gonna make one little mark right there. And I'm going to measure that down from the top of here because it's pretty much straight all the way across. Close enough. 2 inches. So I'm going to go along and I'm going to make a bunch of 2-inch marks along here, and then I'm going to staple it up there. And while I'm doing that, where is my air compressor? Buried in the shower. I'm going to get the air compressor. They're a little bit crooked. That's okay. Plug in the air compressor and then I'll turn the phone back on when I start stapling it up. And just shut the compressor off. To staple these up in here, I'm putting 1/4 inch plywood up here. This is half, so we're fine stapling into that, but this is only 1/4. So 1/4 to 1/4, even 1/4 to half. There is wiring up in here. I know where it is, but just to be safe, I'm using these 1/4 inch narrow crown staples. Sorry, 1/2 inch, not 1/4, 1/2 inch. So these bad boys were hard to find. So I had to buy a box of them. 1/4 cable, 1/2 inch crown staples, 5,000. This weighs about 2 pounds. I'm gonna add 2 pounds of weight to the bus. I had to buy them, I'm gonna use them. Anyway, that's what I'm doing there. Turn this machine back on, it's gonna be a little noisy, and I'm throwing stuff around. Away we go. go. So line this end up, put it into place. With my mark here, just going along the bottom where I've made the marks and making sure that I've got it all lined up where I wanted it. So I'll move one there. Now I'm just gonna drop. There's not gonna be any weight or anything on this. It's just to hold it into place. So I'm just gonna drop, 10 or so along the bottom, and then come in and do 10 or so along the top. I don't want it to fall down. Yeah, nice. Nice. Yeah, that's really good. So there's the 8-foot piece put in. Looks really good. Really happy with how that's looking. I notice here when I hit this staple in here, 1/2-inch staple through the edge of the quarter and stuff and into the other quarter, it's in there, but it is not poked through. That's exactly what I wanted. So that is what we've got for this little crown molding. I think it looks fantastic. So I'm gonna drop, I've got 2 more pieces I think I can put in. And I'm not going to do the far end because this piece over the back, that's not staying. That was kind of an experiment, putting it sideways. I'm going to be building that a little bit differently, building it out and then bringing it level with the roof. So I'll probably leave the last piece here out, but that looks great. All right, in my day of little projects, here's my next little project. This is the access hole for the fuel tank, the sending unit and whatnot. Chili. I am going to build a cover to fit in there, and I've got to figure out what to do here. Probably going to see if I can find a piece of foam board. Somebody's got to have a scrap piece somewhere, and I'll just cut it out to fit this. And I will squash it down in there. The piece I put in here, I'll just have a couple little holes in it so you can just grab it and pull it out. But looking at it, doesn't look square because nothing is square in the bus. So I'm gonna make some measurements here, make a cut, clean this out so that it's not all filthy in there, and then just set the piece in there for now. There it is, all done. Yeah, I know there's gaps, but when I put that piece of foam board in there, a little bit of weather stripping, and that will sit nice and tight. And no dirt or dust or anything will come through that hole. Should be good. I just got back from picking up Christina. She's feeling much better now. I think my dad and I are going to put the passenger seat in here right away. We can get that in, get the driver's seat put back in, get the driver's seat belts put back in. And then I think Christina and I might build this cabinet down here behind the driver's seat. That's where the stereo is going to go and whatever else I want to put in there. And then, I don't know. We're just kind of winging it now. We're at that point where it's just little things, like little trim pieces, or stuff that we want to do, like doors. Like the doors, while we're waiting on the hinges. The hinges haven't arrived yet. They'll be here today. Thank you, Amazon. 1-day delivery. We should have ordered them earlier. That's where we're at. In order to do the doors, we need another sheet of 1/2-inch plywood. Yeah. I think we are
really at that point where we're starting to just clean up, get things ready for the winter here. Do as much little things as we can. Like I still need to do all the trim pieces between all the windows. All that's got to get done, but none of that needs to be done this year. That doesn't even need to be done for us to use it next year. So we definitely want to use it. We'll be using it before it's ready, before it's complete. I mean, it's ready to use right now, but we don't have a heater inside it, so we can't really use it this winter. Anyway, I'm babbling. I'm gonna bring that piece in here for the passenger seat, and away we go. I'm over caffeinated.
That'll bring the right thoughts on
So you're just drilling a pilot hole, right?
Pilot hole, yeah.
This is where my seat is going. We are installing my seat today.
We had to take a little trip to Home Depot. The lag bolts were not working. Mostly, I think, because they're meant for wood and they were not grabbing the steel. So what I've picked up, we went and got some hex head tech screws. Let me show you one of these ones, because these are a bit of a special item. Open the box here. So what you have here is a hex head. It's a 3/8 and a self-tapping drill, a self-tapping screw with a drill bit. Why can't we get focused? There we go. It's got a drill bit on the end, so it drills its own hole and it taps its own hole as you go through, and they work fantastically. We use them at work all the time. So we put a lock washer on each one. Unfortunately, the front holes are too big already from our experiments, so we are going to have to maybe just tap out the hole and put a regular bolt in there. But we've got 4 here, very tight, very secure. This is not going anywhere. 4 on each side. So now we're going to throw the seat up on here and drill the hole through. I'm going to use a step bit, and the 9/16 is right here. So I'm going to jump up to this line right here, at least at the minimum, and we should be good. Which is only one more size. I'll just keep going until I hit the right size.
That thing there too? We'll
Okay,
flip it right out.
explain why we went to the Big Bertha.
Sometimes you just need a powered tool. Plug in. Constant power. Batteries die fast, so hopefully this works.
Trouble is you can drill it on an angle.
Yeah. Almost.
Keep going.
Yeah, one more step.
One down, 3 to go.
And there we go. Passenger seat is installed. The beauty of this one is it has its own seat belt, so it doesn't have to be attached to the wall anywhere. So Christina on it, of course her feet dangle like a little kid, but that was intentional so that she could see out the front window. So there will be a stool for her to rest her feet on while we're driving, otherwise her legs are going to get sore. Well, you can sit like that too. There you go, benefits of being short.